In 2025, I made 210K in profit, and I did not do it by selling services. I did it by selling a systemized offer. So you can see our gross profit here for January the 1st, 2025 to 1st of Jan 2026, 210K gross profit. And this isn't even the total revenue. Plus, I wasn't even working for a month of this time. I was on vacation with my family. Now we've got that out of the way, let's dive into it. Don't run your service as a service, run it as a system. If you run it as a system, it will explode in the best way possible. If you run it as a service, it's going to implode on you sooner or later. Most beginners sell random disjointed services. For example, they might sell Facebook ads, landing pages, business consulting. Sometimes even they throw relationship or health coaching in there. Now, I train kickboxing and I go for my gradings in a very organized, sequential way. And I trained like that from the get-go. If you're trying to grow or scale a business, you can't afford to start off in a disorganized way. You will grow and scale if you've sequenced things out, especially your service, properly from the get-go. By the way, if you want our prospect floodgate, which goes through all of the templates and the scripts, in-depth walkthroughs I'm going through in this video, all for free, I use them to hit our 201K in profit. Click the link in the description below. Now, systems are sequential. They're stacked and they're interconnected. Every single part of that system needs to support each other, and it really ultimately should create dependency with the people that are using it, so you can create forever clients and they will continually buy and rebuy your service, which will really solve the problem of not having enough cash flow each month and having to just go out there and somehow create it, which is very stressful. So avoid that from the get-go. I'm going to give you the best example I have, which is what we currently do. Social media, search engine optimization, some lead generation, a booking call system, and sales flow. I'll give you the example from when we started 4 years ago, which is quite different than what we do now to hit the 100K per month we're currently at. An example of like a starter system you could start out with for like a business operations offer, which is the easiest thing to really sell. You can use this to pass 10 to 40K per month. And the best part about this is you can sell this to clients, but you can also sell this to clients to use with their clients, giving you like a licensing effect, which is much more profitable and will keep them coming back for longer. We have all of our service delivery systemized as templates on Go High Level, which we release to each client. And I'll walk you through how this goes at a high level, but then later on in the video, I'm going to show you how to action this. So we have social media SEO and DM me ads. So you tell a customer, okay, we're going to run traffic to your social media profile to get a DM, which is a private conversation with the lead, and we're going to offer in exchange for that DM a 50-day roadmap of the action items, for instance, to get your next 10K in clients. Or if you're in the relationship niche, you would then say something like, DM me to get this roadmap to get your next 5 high quality dates. It doesn't matter what the niche you're in is, it matters the structure of the system. Let me show you our stats. When we were running this, we have leads coming in for less than $9, 845 leads, 7,800 ad spend. Now, it doesn't matter if you intend or can spend 7K in ad spend, as long as it's profitable, because then it just pays for itself. So once you've got these leads coming in, you want to hit them up with automated DM to get a conversation. They will opt into your ad and they'll see the solid content base on your optimized social media profile. That builds the trust. As soon as you put proof in front of your claim online, you're then separated immediately at a higher level. You then set up SMS email nurture flows for the new opt-ins. They immediately get hit up with these curated emails and get reminded to check the lead magnet that you've sent them in a DM, which increases the response rate. You have now got an inbound conversation with someone that's asked to be there, which is very different than if you're trying to go out there and just message randoms or go into Facebook groups, even trying to host webinars or challenges. All of these are hugely high energy requiring tasks. And if you only have 1 or 2 people in the business, like it's impossible to maintain that. And what you really need to maintain is lead flow above all else. And once you have these inbound conversations coming in, you can get a setter in there, or you could get an AI setter. And I'll show you that in Play, which is something that we use, which literally costs next to nothing. Now, once these leads are booking in, then you have email and SMS flows to increase the show up rates, increase the nurture of those calls, automated and evergreen. Now, if you're selling this, you're literally integrated into their leads and their booking system, which are the gateways to creating cash flow. So now they're relying on you for lead systems. Who would stop paying you after you've helped them do that? And they're now profitable if you're charging for that inside of your service. Then we've got an upsell process that increases how much a client will spend with you even further. I won't go into this that deeply on this video, it's another beast, but what you need to know is if you're only selling clients on one service for one-off sessions or 3 months or 6 months, shit, like there is so much money left on the table because it costs so much time, energy, and money to enroll even one client. And the next times you re-enroll them are so much easier because you've already got the trust built and they've already created success with you. So if you're not reselling clients, your monthly cash flow is going to look like this. Easy upsell on this is once you have a client client that's getting a couple hundreds of leads monthly, you can literally stack it with a VA or an AI setter or a setter. They can be doing 50 to 100 follow-ups inside of the database, and that will pump up the bookings. You can easily sell that for 5K on the back end. It's a pretty low delivery cost on your side. So here's another example of the other end if you're just selling services. So landing pages, Facebook ads, business consulting. There is no logical sequence there. If there's a health offer or a service and someone comes in and they say they want that and you're just selling that, there are conflicting niches. And because of that, it's going to be incredibly difficult to scale it. It's very difficult to market to someone, and you won't know if they will absolutely need business consulting, health coaching, help with ads, landing pages. It sounds crazy when I say it like this, but people literally work their business in this way and they keep their hands in multiple pies at once and they wonder why they're overwhelmed and burnt out. It's because this does not sequence out correctly. So it can't be scaled. There's not enough value there. The value is there when you can draw out all the complexity of achieving an outcome into properly sequenced steps and either have like a high ticket service system or a monthly recurring revenue system in GHL, like a snapshot that you can sell as a membership. And that way that person or the business is dependent on you to keep generating the outcome, just like it's an internet or a gas bill. So that's how you sequence as a service and you explode instead of implode. So I do understand when we started, we would just give like general business help, funnel help, and we would just give people what they kind of needed. When we were like early in the game, it was still sequenced, but it was too customized. It was based on what the person would need like when they came in. So now what we sell is we have the SEO. So many new and established services like coaches, consultants, agencies, they have like case studies or they have value, they have content being shown. And if the right people saw their stuff, they would have more sales, more cash flow, but literally they're just suffering in obscurity because people just can't identify them online. So within 14 days, we solve their biggest issue. We set up a solid brand and we set up the ads. So you can see like it's not a complex setup. It's like a massive quick win. Let me show you what it eventuates in, which is this automated inbound DM. The customer literally did nothing to create. Huge momentum. Literally for under $100, they've got 10 to 20 of these new inbound leads. So if they want 40 of these, they put in $200. They want 1,000 of these. You can see where the maths goes. And the great thing about running this on ads is that you can get that in a week. You can get that in a month. That's what's called a lead faucet system. It's a tap you can turn on or off to get the right people in front of your brand and your offer. So this lead came in through a DM me ad. This lead was actually booked by an AI setter. She's typed the keyword, so she's DMing me for this asset. She's being added to our email list. We're going to continue remarketing to them. These are all automatic now that the person has responded. So there was some qualification, then they booked on my calendar and they paid in full for a multiple 5-figure offer we were running at the time, literally a $9 lead. So you can see the upside if you're running something like an AI setter, even 400 inbound leads, even if just 40 book, 4 close, 5K offer, 20K month. Now this is a system we are charging the business for to run. So this is really the best example of the correct sequencing of services within an offer, because we have like a one-off high ticket cash flow. And then we also have a recurring revenue system, which gives us like massive stability. So while this conversation is happening over on Instagram, we have nurturing emails being sent to that lead. Those emails do the heavy lifting. They build the trust, they're nurturing before this person books a call. If you just have this conversation probably would not be this open and warm. Now, once this person books the call, we've got even more SMSs, emails, nurturing, building trust. If you don't have this stuff in place, then you will experience that skepticality. You will experience that lack of trust. And it's going to be very difficult to close high ticket deals unless you're an expert closer, which just takes more time than most beginners have. So you don't want to drop the ball here once they book a call, because guess what? Like if there are 40 bookings a month and you have a normal show up rate of 60%, you've got 24 show ups. If you add even 20%, you've got 32 show ups, and that increases then the cash flow you see after that point. When we have this up and running, it's very simple, but the two core systems here are leads, lead generation, and then setting. Once you solve that problem for someone, they stick around. It becomes very sticky because there are also areas of a business which change very frequently. Marketing funnels have a shelf life of 1 to 3 months, and then markets get used to it and need to be swapped out. So most people wouldn't want to have to figure all of this out. They'd rather pay someone a fee to figure it out for them, because this systemized offer literally creates cash flow that didn't exist before. A person is more than happy to pay. So what I'm pushing for at the moment is an upsell infrastructure that once clients start closing from this system we give them, we work on something on the back end we can easily sell for 5K, 20K that further complements this result. That's what it means to really sequence your services. And then it's an easy choice when a client gets the results of the first systemized offer. And it becomes like lead comes in, booking, sale, upsell, continuously then upselling, upselling, upselling. It's an end-to-end system, and it's just completely tightly sequenced out. But the trick is you have to treat it like links in a chain. Each link has to connect to the next all the way through. So many people just set this up in a random sequence that do not link up well, which is why things then just implode over time. And the whole point of this is that you're not just selling whatever the person comes in wanting and needs at any stage of the delivery process, but that we're building with scale in mind by making sure that our service is set up like a system that can scale and then explode in the best way possible. But what most people do is they just go in with this mentality of like, I'll just make some money and I'll deal with the problems later, and then they end up imploding under the pressure. If you want the 201k profit system, click the link below, or if you want my help, there's a link to book a call in the description below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.